Hi, my name is Maggie O'Rourke. I am the Assistant Manager for Education and Public Engagement at the Olympic Sculpture Park. Thank you so much for checking out the Sam Lights Art Making at Home series. Of course, this year we are not able to be together at the park, so we are bringing the wonder of our annual Sam Lights program to you. We are thrilled to welcome a few Seattle-based artists who will be sharing a few light-based art activities for you to create at home to light up your indoor and outdoor spaces in the spirit of Sam Lights. Check out Sam's Facebook videos for more videos in the series. Today, we are joined by Seattle Design Nerds, a local design collective who will be showing us how to create some exciting light art from home. Thank you so much for checking out this activity today.
Hi, my name is Trevor Dykstra. I'm an architect and I'm the co-founder of the Seattle Design Nerds. I'm here to show you today how to make your own inflatable lantern at home using just some standard household materials. You're going to need a few things before we get started. Trash bags. Right now I'm looking for white ones, something that's going to have a little bit of light come through. Clear will work as well. Or you can use painter's plastic. Heavy duty shipping tape. Duct tape or something like that will work as well, but this generally works pretty well with plastic. You'll need some scissors, some aluminum foil, paper plate, foam plate, something like that, as well as some twine, which I don't have here to show you. You'll also want to find a household fan. Now this here isn't a household fan, this is an inflatable blower that I happen to have, but a box fan or even any sort of non-oscillating fan will work great for this. You're also going to want your light. In this case, I'm going to use some LEDs that we have that are sound sensitive, but yours doesn't have to be. It just gives you a little bit more excitement. So, to get started, you're going to want to cut up your kitchen bags into sheets. So I'm going to open these up and then slice it open. So now you have a big pile of plastic sheets. Nice and wide, you can sort of see through it like that. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to plan ahead a little bit. If we want to make a real simple box shape, you can make it sort of in the way a box is done with 6 sides. And imagine you're sort of folding it up and then tape all those things together. Or you can let it be sort of a free-for-all and just start taping your sheets together. And eventually when you run out of room in either direction, you just fold it back over and seal it up on the top and seal it up on the ends. And I think that's the method we're going to go with today. We're going to just sort of make a big blob shape that way. Now there's 2 other things to consider when you're making this. You do need to plan on where your fan is going to connect. And also, if you're going to try and get inside, you want to add a door to this, or a slit or a zipper or something to get inside. Ours probably isn't going to be that big today, so we won't try to get inside aside from maybe putting some lights in it. The fan in this case, in my case, is pretty small in our case, so what I'll probably do here is just tape the plastic to the face of the fan with a hole in it where the air is coming in here and then the air is blowing out here, and I'll let the fan live inside of the inflatable. But if you got a household fan or something like that, you can put it outside. You can actually take one of your sheets of plastic, fold it back over, and tape a seam down the line so you get a nice tube. And then you can take that tube, put it over your fan, tape it to it or strap it to it, and then tape the other end to a hole in the side of another sheet, and that'll give you a little air inlet into your piece. In our case, because we're using this one, I'm going to just cut a hole in this and tape this directly to the fan. That'll be the quickest. So I'm going to find where I want the hole to be. I think we'll put it right in here. There we've got a bit of a circle, something like that, for a hole. You can already see if I'm trying to cut that, it's going to tear. I am going to put some tape over that hole before I cut it. Make it a little more safe. It won't rip as easily. Title tape on both sides of the plastic just to make it extra stiff. Here I think we'll just do the one. I think that'll be enough. to make this work. And then we've got something like a oval, but that'll work for what we're going to do. I'll show you on one here, and then we'll fast forward through the rest. When we're taping these sheets together, see we have that nice overlap there, and I like to flatten it out quite a bit. You can take some parchment paper on both sides and use an iron and actually weld these together rather than using tape. The tape is definitely the fastest method and probably the safest for favorites out there. And you can see when applying the tape, I'm making sure the tape overlaps at each joint. So there's no spots for air to get out. We want to make this pretty airtight in order for this to work. And then if you tape ever goes wrong, you just let it run off and then make sure you really press it down into that plastic, make sure it works. Then you might flip it over and do the other side, depending on how durable you want to make it. In our case, maybe we'll do that on the first one, and then I think the rest we'll just let be what they are. All right, well, now we should have turned all those little sheets into one very big sheet. Now, if you're feeling really ambitious, you can make another really big sheet, put them on top of each other, and cut a silhouette out, and that'll give you some sort of very specific shape. In our case, we're going to just make a big pillow out of this. So now that we have our big shape, there's one thing we want to do before we start taping it all the ends together. I do want to be able to get inside this inflatable and attach our fan eventually, and also be able to put in the lights and some other things. Also, with any plastic inflatable, air can't get out at all. And so eventually, no matter what sort of fan you have, the air will fill it enough that it'll pop. So we're going to put a little opening in this so I get stuff in and out, and also so I can control the amount of air coming in. That's why I saved some plastic, and I'm going to make a little flap. Now, to put that in here, I think we're going to just put it near our fan. We probably want our slit, maybe we'll go on this side of it over here. So, as with the hole, I'm going to reinforce this area with some tape before we cut it. Now in this case, I'm not going to actually cut a shape out like the hole. I'm going to just cut a line or a slit that can be pulled open or closed. And so in that case, I'm going to actually put the tape going in two ways because there's going to be a lot of dynamic action on this direction. Cut just a little hole out of that. So I'm going to add a little door access point. I'm going to just take another sheet of plastic here. It probably needs to be stronger than just a single ply here, so I'm going to just take a sheet and just fold it up. All right, so now what you want to do is you want to take your sheet, and just like a pillow case, you want to tape the ends, all the ends sort of together. All right, so we've got one last end to tape together. But before we tape it together, we could just put a light in it and light it up, but what fun would that be? So we thought maybe we would add something flashy for the inside. We grab our paper plates, or in this case it's a foam plate, and our aluminum foil, and our twine. But so what you're going to do is you're going to take your plate, you're going to cut that plate into a shape. You're going to cut a circle and just start wrapping that around that shape. But once you get it fully wrapped, you can just tape it to itself. Here's a square, got some more circles, here's a heart. Now we're going to be hanging these off the inflatable, the ceiling. So you're going to want to take your twine and tie a knot in it. You're also going to want to find the center point of your shape. We've got a helpful example here that someone set up by just taking a paper clip and taping it down to a surface with a point pointed up. And then you can set your shape on that paper clip. Just try to find the point where it feels like it's pretty balanced, and then poke your paper clip through there, and that's your hole for your twine. And then you've got something pretty centered versus this one, you see how that hangs sideways. So now we're going to take our pieces and we're going to hang these in the ceiling of our inflatable. And we're ready to put our fan in. If you're using a household fan, of course, you just use your inlet tube that you made. You see we've got our fan through, and then I'm going to tape this on just so it stays in place a little bit better. May not do much. We still need to put in our light. Let's do that now. And there we have it. You can see here that our reflecting pieces in there are swinging around and casting light every which way. When we let it just be loose and wild, and you might be asking yourself why we were using that fancy LED light. And that's because you can see it's just casting color, but because it's sound sensitive, now we have a bot bed. Every time you hit it, changing color. Now you know our secret. Looking forward to seeing what everybody else makes on their own. Thanks everybody. Have a good night.